YouTubes! Hopefully this works and doesn't look or sound too terrible. I have had a series of catastrophic failures on my computer over the past year, and I've had to replace various pieces of hardware, including, well, a bunch of shit. Anyway, now I'm running Windows 7 instead of XP, and I think some of the software I'm using for my webcam stuff isn't exactly Windows 7 compatible, unfortunately. And my microphone stopped working, so I need a USB mic, which sounds like shit, but, you know, what are you gonna do? The last video I posted was, what, like, last June, July, something like that, talking about the Airbender movie and how it aggravated me so very much. No, it still aggravates me, but it's not the subject of this video. What have I been doing for almost a year? Well, I have been in the process of enlisting for service in the military. Why? Well, because there's a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I'm drastically underemployed, and the employment opportunities in Michigan for a college dropout like myself. You know what? Forget that. The employment opportunities for any human being in the state of Michigan are abysmal. They're abysmal whether you have a degree or not. Most of the people that I know that actually do have degrees do not have jobs in the field that they studied in school. It's a piece of paper that they are not using. Even if they have a, quote-unquote good job, it's not in the field that they studied. So it's like, what's the point? And anyway, personality-wise, I don't think I'm cut out for private industry. I think I'm a public servant through and through. So, and a couple options. Firefighter, policeman, military. So, tried for the military. That's basically what I was doing all last year, was just because of the order in which the branches contacted me after I posted online that I was showing interest. I tried... Thanks, Snickers. I tried the Navy first because, they contacted me after the National Guard. National Guard's part-time shit. No, I wanted a full-time career. So the Navy contacted me first. This and that, up and down, back and forth. And it turns out that through the medical screening process, I have discovered that I am indeed a mutant. Not a terrible surprise. It was a bit of a surprise that they would flag me for it and say that, they wouldn't want to waver. Anyway, I have a condition, maybe. I haven't even gotten a positive diagnosis from a doctor. A civilian doctor wasn't able to replicate the results of the test. But anyway, I may have a condition called benign glycosuria, which is, you can probably tell by the word if you're familiar with Latin, it's a diagnosis by symptom, not by cause. It basically just means that there was sugar in my urine, which can happen for a couple of reasons. It used to be a test, one of the tests that they, decades ago, their only test for diabetes before they even understood what diabetes actually was. It turns out that is a bad test for determining diabetes because even a normal person under stress conditions can have sugar in their urine. It takes, somewhat extreme condition for that to happen, but it can happen. You can get false diagnoses. So they don't do that anymore. Now they do blood tests for diabetes. So anyway, what's the condition? The kidneys normally circulate the sugar back into your bloodstream so that you either can consume it as energy or the pancreas produces insulin to, bond to it, get rid of it. In a person like me, apparently, the kidneys dump excess sugar over whatever threshold they're, manufactured. The kidneys are working at. Beyond that threshold, they dump the excess sugar into the urine so that excess sugar gets expelled as waste instead of burnt again. So that's a bit weird. Most people don't do that. It's kind of good in that you're not stressing your pancreas to produce so much insulin, which is basically how someone gets type 2 diabetes. You kill your pancreas over time, basically. You stress it to death, to the point where it stops functioning. So a person like me I'm not sure that I could actually develop type 2 diabetes depending on where the kidney threshold is. So this is not a bad condition to have. It doesn't make me ill or anything. And the civilian doctor I had said that I was probably one of the healthiest patients that he had. So, great, good. The Navy, unfortunately, decided not to waiver. Nope, no Navy service for me. So there I was. It was the middle of summer last year, and I was like, I'm not getting into the Navy. Now what do I do? And just poking around, kind of lost, like, now what career path do I choose? And I was basically just in a funk and directionless. On a whim, at the beginning of this year, I think it was January, February, something like that. Just a couple months ago, I was like, you know what? Let me contact one of the other branches. Just because of my age, I'm 31 now. Just because of my age, the Army was the only other branch that I could go. I don't want to be a Marine anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, let's try the Army. Their population requirements are a little bit higher. Maybe they're a little looser in their, requirements. They don't have to waiver at such a, low level. So I go to the Army, and, oh yeah, that should be fine. You should be able to get a waiver for that. Like, okay, you realize that, the Navy, but, that's the recruiter talking, not necessarily the medical higher-ups. So maybe he's just being optimistic. No, just, 4 days after that, I got, oh yeah, you got a waiver for this, you got a waiver for that, you got a waiver for the tattoo. My wedding ring is on my hand. That's, because of dress uniform, it's a bit weird. Normally they want the tattoos, hidden by dress uniform, but they waivered the tattoo on my hand, apparently because it was my wedding ring, and they thought that was acceptable, so great. So now I'm waivered, and then just this last Thursday, I swore into the Army. I am now a soldier with the rank of private until I finish training, and then I get, promoted. But it's like, I am a soldier now. So that whole, like, what am I doing with my life? What's my career? Where's my future going? That whole worry has now been lifted off of my shoulders, and all I have to do is, like, supplement my income, probably with a temporary summer job, until I go into basic in November, and then I have steady employment, which is, like, the first time that's ever happened in my life. So now I'm in a much more stable, different place. I think I will continue posting videos now that I don't have to worry about that. Now I just have to, physically, mentally, I'm there. Mentally, I'm done. I have to physically prepare myself for the rigors of basic training. I play a lot of video games and sit in this chair too much. So I need to exercise. Not so much for strength training, but just for endurance training. I gotta start jogging. But that's where I am. That's what I'm doing. Just in case anyone was curious. I had, a couple of messages here or there. Post more videos, post more videos. I'll post more videos, I swear. This spring and this summer until this fall when I go off to basic, I will post more videos. And then after training, I think I'm done with training about a year from now, in April again. So from November to April, I probably won't be posting anything. But then after that, I'll probably post again as, my job permits. So, yeah, that's what's going on. It's weird. It's very weird. It happened all very quickly. First slowly, and then quickly. And, I'm underemployed, but I still gotta go to work. So, I guess I'll talk to you later.